bringing your questions, bringing your pains and your thirst for life. I will caution you that this is no normal church. Well, no normal or casual grouping of random people. This process of win or die is perfectly natural. It's built into nature, and over the course of history, fact is, more species have gone extinct than have not. Looking at the stresses on human beings today, it can make you wonder where we are in that process.
Friend told me about a graphic design internship position off campus. It sounded promising though, so I applied, I got the job, and I was doing some basic graphic design tasks when one day we landed a new client. For those versed in the arts of animal husbandry, it's an incredibly lucrative business of selling prized animal genetic material. My job as an intern was to collect, scan, and touch up all the photos of the pigs. And this was the days before digital. So I was working with film and prints. I was staring at pig butts for hours, making sure their manhood was shown in the best light. After hundreds of photos, I got really good at this. But I'm thinking to myself the whole time, what the hell am I doing?
A few months ago, I was on an airplane. There I was, settling into my aisle seat when my seatmate started talking. I'm very obviously not available for conversation. If I were a cartoon, there would be a big "go away" sign flashing over my head. But at some point, she asks me the question, "So, what do you do for a living?" "Me? I'm the pastor of a church." A moment of blinking then commenced and ended with a soft, "Oh." And suddenly, I was back to watching my movie for the rest of the flight. And given how half of our population currently reacted to mask mandates, I think it's pretty clear as a species that we're going to have to revisit that whole avoid it like the plague thing, because apparently we don't do that anymore. So what are we afraid of? Bats, snakes, spiders, oh yeah, insects generally, fire, heights, being alone, right? Being forgotten, a little existential. Violence, afraid of violence. Hateful people, stupid people. The undead. Violent, hateful, stupid people who are also undead in the dark, carrying snakes and spiders while on fire. Yeah, someone call Hollywood. My history teacher had a mural on the back of his classroom. It read, "Those who do not learn it are destined to repeat it." Big letters. There is a lesson in there. There was a lesson intended at least, but I'll confess that it was rather opaque to me as a 15-year-old. My friends and I joked that it was a threat. Fail my class and you'll be back here next year, ha-ha! I'm embarrassed to say that we may have been overheard and then had to have it explained to us publicly in rather blunt terms. What our teacher said after calling the four of us to the front of the room was this: we don't have to make the same mistakes over and over again. Wouldn't it be nice if we could maybe choose new mistakes?
My friend Lakota Man posted that the Los Angeles Department of Power and Water was helping to bring electricity to parts of the Navajo Nation for the first time. In case you're wondering, in the 1920s, about half of all Americans had electricity at home. In 1933, the Tennessee Valley Authority began a huge program of bringing electricity to rural Tennessee, and in 1944, President Roosevelt authorized rural electrification nationwide. So why are some residents of the Navajo Nation just now seeing progress in being connected to the electrical grid? The answer to that question is about 529 years old.
Imagine you have spent all your young life knowing in your heart that you're different. You've tried to be good, you love God, you love your parents, you even listen to your pastor. You know they are all worried for you, and you do all of the things that they have asked of you. You practice and you practice and you practice, even though it feels wrong. You worry that it will never feel right, that you will never feel right, that you deserve to feel bad deep down because you believe that you are bad. No one is like you, you are alone, and if you slip up, if you forget even for a moment, then everyone will know and they will hate you forever and ever. So no one can ever know that you are left-handed. Once upon a time, in a career far, far away, I was a sales exec for a Fortune 100 tech company. Like everyone else there, I was working all the time. Why? Because of work-life balance. Execs were told that the best employees were happy employees, and happy employees were the ones that remembered to also play and rest. Balance was the key, the consultant said. Balance drove success. Some good stuff. I had 6 weeks of paid vacation, 6 weeks when I left, because I never took vacation and no one did. That was work-life balance. And that is why I have trust issues. My therapist and I are still working on it.
"O wise teacher," the young man said, "tell me the secret of life." The teacher looked at the young man for a long time and said, "The secret of life is like a cup of tea." "What?" exclaimed the young man. "I dropped out of college to come here. I have climbed up this whole fracking mountain, and all you have for me is that life is like a cup of tea?" The teacher paused and said, "Well, perhaps life isn't like a cup of tea."
Comes from a writer who doesn't get a lot of airtime in Christian pulpits, and that's just one of the many reasons why UUSG is a good place to be. Anyway, here's what Hunter S. Thompson has to say about living life well. Quote, Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride!" Life goals, my friends. We take care to have fun together. We don't just show up and throw up for God. we do that. I mean, that's fine. But that's not all we do, right? The typical Unitarian Universalist feeling is that those who should know do know, and those who don't need to know never will know. That's nice, awkward, weird, very insular. I really want to bring you to my church. What kind of church is it? Well, it's different. And remember that while we don't necessarily think alike, we can still love alike. And that's what a good church community makes space for.
Body carries me through this worldless mystery. Keep this body soft and safe, welcoming the present grace. Let the moon bring what it might, greet the deepest dark of night. Let the sun bring what it may, greet the dawning of the day. Bless this precious body, bless this precious gift. As this music carries me with its ancient melody, let its rhythms beat in tune with the sun. Let the night come with a song, lullabies with a song. Let the dawn come with a sigh, sing the stars a soft goodbye. Bless this precious music, bless this precious gift. As the Spirit carries me, breathing land and sky and sea, let it fill my heart with grace, crossing time and crossing space. Let the moon stardust roll like a path below. Let the sun stardust fly, beauty, goodness, truth inspire. Bless this precious spirit, bless this precious gift. Bless this precious music, bless this precious gift. Bless this precious body, bless this precious gift.
Visit us at uusg.org.